When you woke up this morning, did you know you were going to be receiving the vaccine?
So, all of my staff, we are excited to get the vaccine. I'm sorry, I'm feeling really dizzy. I'm sorry.
The reason I mentioned that I knew in October 2018 that this was going to happen was because in 2018 I was offered, a federal agent came to tell me, Patrick, you need to understand there are billionaires walking around this world that we made, and we're prepared to do the same for you. You just have to stay calm, you just have to stay quiet through the election. By that election, I knew he meant 2020 election.
And Berland had Chavez losing 41% to 59%. But the next day, Chavez declared victory, reversing the score, saying he won 59% of the vote.
Hey everybody, it's Everett with Ohio for Freedom. So we have a nurse that passes out, a rich guy that passes on being made a billionaire, some news reporting that actually passes for journalism by CNN. So the common theme is pass. Well, we're going to talk about an option the president would like to pass on, but won't necessarily. Will it make sense? Yeah, if you hang around. Let's get started.
I hear the sweet sound of freedom, and I won't be long.
Okay, let me get the usual housekeeping out of the way. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, please hit the notifications bell. Please like, share, subscribe. Please leave a comment. If you don't have a comment, just type in comment. Why? Because it helps us combat the heavy-handed AI, the heavy-handed censorship that especially the Zuckerberg bots like to pull down on us. People ask me all the time, I can't find you on Parler. It's very simple. The symbol at Ohio for Freedom. At Ohio for Freedom. No spaces, no capitals. You'll be able to find it. We post on Rumble and then share that on Parler and MeWe. Then YouTube, then Zuckerberg files. Okay, if that makes sense. So I'm going to comment on the three little clips that were the intro here, but primarily I want to speak about an option that the president has that I believe he would wish to pass on, and I don't want to say it out loud. So if you are listening, look at your phone, look at your computer, but here's what I want to talk about. And you might say, Everett, you're paranoid. No, I've just been axed and censored and fact-checked too many times to not want to be careful. So I want to set up what we're talking about this way. In this time of having to find reliable sources of information, you have to break away from some, find others, or whatnot. I'm reminded of something that I heard Kenneth Hagin say years and years ago that has always stuck with me, and it's this phrase, have the sense of an old cow, eat the hay, leave the sticks. And with that in mind, I want to play a clip from True News, which by and large I like and respect. I appreciate what they're doing, but I take a little bit of issue with what you're going to see next. Let me just play the clip and then we'll talk about it.
A lot of people don't expect him to appear on January 20th to greet former Vice President Joe Biden. Most likely he'll just fade into the sunset. But a lot of Trump supporters are holding out hope that there's one more action that's going to take place.
And I could never imagine the scenario where the folks on the right would be asking for martial law. That's where we're at right now.
Yeah, because all the years I've been doing True News,
we've been warning against martial law.
Okay, so once again, I appreciate Rick Wiles, appreciate Doc and Edward, love what they're doing there. These guys are Christians. They've been doing it a long time, and you will very often learn things on their program that you won't hear anywhere else. But this is one of those times where I got to eat the hay and leave the sticks. Nobody is asking for martial law. But what is being stated is if that's what it comes to, that's what you gotta do. I don't know where to start. This home is prepared. We are prepared. We are prepared to do things if we are invaded, if we are intruded upon that we never want to do, but what things that we certainly will do. It seems as though, and this episode is not about picking on Rick Wiles, okay, but it does seem that a couple of days ago, I thought I heard him say, basically, the takeaway that I get is, well, the Supreme Court's turned him down. And if the Supreme Court turns him down, that's the end of the story. I beg to differ with that very, very, very strongly. The Supreme Court, first of all, there are cases that are still working their way there. And as I said on a previous episode, they have a chance to get it right. Will they get it right? I'm not real optimistic about that, but God's going to give them a chance. But I guess where I want to go with this is that all along, you've heard people on the left, and that this gleeful little smirky laugh, and they'll say something like, they brought all these court cases, and the judges have thrown them out, as though that's supposed to mean anything. I want to play a clip from one of the best movies you will ever see. This movie, when my wife heard about it, first of all, it was $20 to rent, so no, we're not going to spend $20. And we waited, and we waited, and we waited, and we waited. And finally, when it became $4 or $6, we watched this movie, and we wish we'd spent the $20 and watched it 3 months earlier. I want to play a clip for you. I think it kind of speaks for itself. Let me play this clip, then we'll talk about it.
It is ordered, adjudged, and decreed that Walter McMillan is to face death by electrocution.
This is my dad, sir.
Sit down, young man.
John, I want you to sit down now. He ain't do nothing wrong. Please, Judge, hold on 1 second.
I won't say it again. Sit down.
Not if you gonna kill my dad for no reason. You killing my family, sir, you!
To be honest with you, I'm kind of tearing up watching that. First of all, let me say this. I think I'm within fair usage. I always get nervous if I put a few seconds of a movie clip in there because, copyright, but I believe I'm within fair usage. And besides that, Just Mercy people, I'm giving you a plug. There's going to be people that watch this movie because of this video right here, but the movie is called Just Mercy. It stars Jamie Foxx, and the attorney is Michael B. Jordan, and it is one of the best movies you will ever see. It'll make you mad. I mean, your blood will boil, because in this, based on a true story, the character played by Jamie Foxx was wrongfully sent to death row for a crime he did not commit. And this was a true story. And guess what? It went to court. It went to court. And then it went to court again. And they threw it out. But the character played by Michael B. Jordan knew that truth was truth, right was right, justice was justice, and he was not going to stop. So I don't care what John Roberts has done. I don't care what other state courts and other federal courts have refused to hear. There has been very, very little, if any, attention paid to facts. So once again, I'm going to say there are court cases that are still going before the Supreme Court, and they have an opportunity to do what is right. But getting back to that clip, when that judge ruled, and in that story, the prosecutor, the judge, the sheriff were all in on sending an innocent man to his death. And that young man, the son, stood up, and he wasn't going to have it. And he didn't care about decorum, and he didn't care about how he was supposed to act. And folks, that's where we're at. So I believe that if that push comes to shove, if that eventuality becomes reality, then it's more than called for to go back to, did I put my little handwritten sign away? Yeah, oh, wait. If this is where we got to go, we're going to go there before we surrender our freedom and our liberty. I don't understand how, and again, I'm not picking on Rick, but I mean, because I've watched them talk about fraud. I've watched them talk about corruption. I've watched them talk about the computer hacking that's affected our Defense Department and our energy grid. And they completely understand this. So understanding all of this, we're supposed to just roll over. All right, I'm going to change gears here. I'm going to show 3 different examples of this right here minus this last word. And that's going on by the left. Just bear with me. It'll make sense. Hang in. Here we go. This is from the National File, December 18th. Breaking: Arizona's Maricopa County resists Senate subpoenas for Dominion machines. Maricopa County has made the decision not to comply with subpoenas issued by the Arizona Senate. All right, today is the 19th that I'm recording this. This happened yesterday on the 18th. The story broke that Maricopa County election officials told the state Senate of Arizona, we're not going to obey your subpoena. They're defying a subpoena. This subpoena has the full force of law, and they're saying, we don't have to do it. I learned a term recently from Glenn Beck that I want to interject right here, and it's called normalcy bias. And my takeaway from the way Glenn explained it, it's the normal, or rather the inherent attitude of human beings to want to see things through the lens of what is normal. And so when something that is completely off the charts, when we encounter something like that, we want to say, oh no, that can't be happening, that can't be happening. Why? Because we have a normalcy bias. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you it ain't normal. It ain't normal. It isn't right for these election officials to say we will not obey that subpoena. Try that sometime. Next time you get subpoenaed, I know, like we get subpoenaed every other day, I get it. But my point is, you get one of those subpoenas and say, I'm not going to do it. Tell me how that works out for you. I got another example. Let's take a look at it. Once again, Epoch Times, December 17th, Michigan Secretary of State refuses to testify to state legislature on election. And here's the quote: I'm aware of the hearings the committee has conducted and am concerned that contrary to your desire to get to the bottom of election questions, they are instead amplifying already debunked conspiracy theories and previously disproven claims of people who lack basic knowledge of election administration, and in doing so undermine the integrity of the election and wounding our democracy. Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson. So Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, she's above the law. She's better than the law. The law doesn't apply to her. She doesn't have to testify in court or anything like that if she doesn't want to. Folks, this is just, these examples that I'm going to show, I could pull from dozens of them that are happening in the country right now. It's insurrection. It's anarchy. It's completely defying authority. And yet people think that our president would be acting in a crazy manner if he were to invoke when there's insurrection happening all over the place. I want you to just think a minute about how crazy this is. Let's keep going. Town Hall, December 17th. K.T. McFarland explains why the intelligence report on the election is being delayed. We're going to read part of this paragraph. That's the delay, pretty significant. What that means is there is not uniform agreement within the intelligence community about whether there was or wasn't Chinese influence and how much there was or wasn't. I think you've got to assume that at least one part of our intelligence community thinks there was major interference, which is why there's debate over this. So, within the intelligence community, there are those that feel there was significant China interference, and then there are those that feel that the significance was perhaps a little more, less. I mean, look, I don't care what K.T. McFarland has to say. What she ought to be saying is there was a deadline on the 18th, a president's executive order, and it wasn't met. So whoever said that members of the intelligence community can say, well, the dog ate my homework, I need another couple of days. Folks, this is defying authority. Defying authority. And so I don't even want to go down the trail of, without that report from Director Ratcliffe, does the president have what he needs for his executive order to act? I'm simply pointing out that there within the intelligence community are people that are defying the law, defying this executive order, And yet you'll have others, once again, that would think that invoking this would somehow be uncalled for. No, I don't think it's uncalled for at all. I kind of wish it would have happened like a long time ago. I got one more that we're going to look at. Let's go. Epic Times, December 18th. Georgia official warned counties not to grant open record requests for voting software. Okay, so admittedly, this one is a little bit nuanced because there is the issue of divulging software secrets. But bottom line, the theme is the same. You've got the citizens wanting information, and you've got the corrupt officials trying to keep it from them. All right? But information keeps coming forward. The Peter Navarro, member of the Trump administration, just a couple of days ago released a 36-page report on corruption and VOTER fraud. And the president referenced that in a tweet today, the 19th, and he is saying that he's calling for a wild protest in Washington. So you got that going on. I played a little bit of a clip from Patrick Byrne of Overstock.com where he's out in the open saying he was offered a billionaireship. That's a word I just made up. If he would keep quiet and go along with corruption. I played old video from 2006 CNN reporting on in another country exactly what's going on in this country. My reason for mentioning all of this is you can't keep a lid on the truth. Once again, they've overplayed their hands. It's just too far out there, and they can say it's been thrown out of the court all they want. They're not going to succeed with that. And then finally, I want to close on this note. Yesterday, it was announced that Secretary of Defense Christopher Miller is no longer giving Defense Department briefings to the Biden transition team. And then just a few hours later, the Biden transition team tried to spin that as though, well, they're just taking a 2-week pause for the holiday. But make no mistake about it. Christopher Miller is not briefing the Biden transition team. Now, there's a couple things that could be happening with that, but it's not just for holiday convenience. There may be things coming down in the immediate pike, like here shortly, that they don't need to be privy to. And it also seems to signal that, this ain't exactly a done deal, Joe. So hope all that made sense, y'all. Want you to be encouraged. If we have to use, I've written all over, if it comes to this, it's going to be okay. Might get turbulent. Might get a little rough, but the plane will come in for a landing. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. Please leave a comment. Appreciate that very much. And until next time, God bless you. God bless your family. God bless the state of Ohio. And God bless the United States of America.